Anji. Oliver Queen. We've seen Zerg tiers and Terran tiers and Protoss tiers. Now we got some green arrow tiers. Guaranteed by the end of this game.
Minerals. Not enough minerals.
Sure thing.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Oh, force dang. I timed it. I was outside your house. I'm like,
not enough minerals.
He's about to leave. Let's start the stream.
Not enough minerals.
Didn't actually have a punchline for that joke, so we'll just call that a fail.
Not enough minerals.
Just go the way of the comedian, just throw in a bunch of swear words. And all of a sudden, you can be not funny and make it seem like it's funny.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, so going for Master Ravens here.
SCV ready. Big job, huh?
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Kind of sent this out early.
Yes, sir. Woohoo! Overtime.
I guess I could even check down here really quickly.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Oh wait, no I can't. Get back there.
SCV ready.
Hi, probe. If I can see you, you can probably see me. There you go.
Huh? Bad news? Go ahead. In the rear with the gear. Who wants some? Roger that.
Upgrade complete.
Look at all that hull damage. Later in this game, he's going to have to like pull probes, and that missing hull damage is going to cost him the game.
Not enough
You scared
minerals.
me. SCV ready. What's going on? Yep. Gangway coming through. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Bad news. In the rear with the gear.
Not enough minerals.
You gonna give me orders? SCV ready. What's going? Ah! You scared me. Armed and ready. SCV ready. Big job, huh?
Alright, so normal time expo.
SCV ready. Go, go, go!
Additional supply depots required.
Been waiting on you.
Man, he came in so deep, I thought I was actually going to get him.
Go ahead.
Phrasing. Alright.
Add-on complete.
Bad news. SCV ready.
Upgrade complete.
SCV ready.
Alright, so saving up for a command center at this point.
Go ahead.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough
SCV
minerals.
ready.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. SCV ready. What's going on?
Oh, with the command center down, we'll take our gas geysers.
SCV ready. You want a piece of me, boy? SCV ready. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Not enough energy.
By the numbers, boys. SCV ready. Been waiting on you.
Damn it.
Huh? In the rear with the gear.
Thought I'd have enough DPS there.
SCV ready.
Unacceptable landing zone.
SCV ready. SCV ready. What? Go ahead. SCV ready. Yes, sir. Woohoo! Overtime. SCV ready. That's a negatory. It's blocked. SCV ready. It's blocked. SCV ready. SCV ready. I can't build here. Yep.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
I laid my extra turret ring there.
Not enough energy.
What's going on?
Upgrade complete. Not enough
I
minerals.
can't build here. SCV ready. Roger. Yeah, big job, huh?
Upgrade complete.
SCV ready. Huh? SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
In the rear with the gear. SCV ready.
Add-on
Jordan.
complete. Not enough energy. Add-on complete.
SCV ready. Go ahead.
Research complete.
I'm going. SCV ready. Bad news. Ah, SCV ready. What's going on?
Understood.
SCV ready. Go, go, go!
That's a rule from fly. Good job.
This better be good.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
I can't build here.
Henry battle field conditions.
Huh?
Ready online.
SCV ready.
Alright,
Order accepted.
no sign of anything there.
SCV ready. SCV
Sign
ready.
of anything here.
Research complete.
SCV ready.
Engineering at your
Base is under attack.
order acknowledged. Raven online.
Your forces are under attack.
You're the boss.
I'll draw units back.
Unacceptable landing zone.
I can't build here.
The factory's in now.
Rear with the
Upgrade
gear.
complete.
I'm going. SCV ready.
Unacceptable landing zone.
Raven online.
Add-on complete.
Ah! You scared me. Big job, huh?
Raven online.
Insufficient Vespene gas. Upgrade complete. Base is under attack.
Ready to raise some hell.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
I can't build here.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Shit.
State your request.
Base is under attack.
Ready for service.
Upgrade complete. Base is under attack. Your forces are under attack. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
Oh my gosh, it's not in
Your
range.
forces are under attack.
This vessel requires assistance.
SCV ready.
Command. Underway. Order accepted.
SCV ready.
This vessel requires assistance.
In the rear with the gear.
Your forces are under attack.
I can't build here. Yeah, whatever.
Ready for service. Commencing.
Ready to plunder.
Your forces are under attack. Our SCVs are under attack.
Order accepted. Systems prime.
Oh, I thought you'd be dead before I got there.
Job complete.
Upgrade complete. Not enough. Not enough. Upgrade complete.
Vessel requires
Let's unload all my energy so the feedbacks aren't so scary.
Your forces are under attack.
Scanning battlefield conditions.
Let's do this.
This vessel requires assistance.
In the rear with the gear.
Your forces are under attack. Upgrade complete. Field completed.
Told you. It's OP though. I knew a secret identity. Should have used the explosive arrow. So I know Vikings are a bad counter to carriers. So the previous game I tried Widow Mines because it makes sense. You know, if you get enough of them, and against a slow unit with drilling claws, you'll always get the hit. And that worked well, but it put a lot of carriers into like really low health, and you know that means they're still doing max damage. So this game, I'm like, well, you know, Vikings are bad versus carriers, Widow Mines are good versus carriers, but don't finish them off. Let's combine them. You know, Widow Mines do all the damage, Vikings do the finishing blow. And that was pretty one-sided, that battle, considering I only had like maybe 15 Widow Mines and 15 Vikings versus a maxed out carrier force. That turned out pretty well. I really like that factory timing too. It's right when I'm starting to pile up a lot of minerals, and it's right when I really need to start getting factory units. That's when Zealot Harass is going to start, so having the Blue Flame Hellions out is great. You know, just my mineral float will start in general, so it's good to spend the minerals on Hellbats or Hellions in general. And then I have them in case I need the Widow Mines. Ketroc, I don't know if you got my message, but do you have builds for Raven-based play? Yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, which is Ketroc21, there's a playlist called Build Tutorial-ishes or something like that, and I go over, you know, the description has a build order, and within the game I go over the build order in pretty good detail and talk about, you know, what do you do against certain things and whatnot. For my Mass Raven build on Habitation Station, which my win rate is over 70%, and all my win rates are right around 50%, right? If I have a win rate that's like 55%, I think that's like ridiculously high. But my TVZ on Habitation Station is over 70%. I put out a detailed thread on that build in particular on Team Liquid, which just search by username, I guess, search by Ketroc there, and you'll find it pretty easily. Ravens are terrible at engaging any Protoss composition you can think of. Auto turrets are like okay versus like certain things. Like, well, I mean, it's okay versus everything, I guess, except for Immortals. Seeker Missile is useless versus, like, a waste of energy versus everything in the Protoss repertoire except for Templar. And Feedback's a much better spell than Seeker Missile for getting in those fights. But I really like the mobility of Ravens. It allows you to expand ridiculously fast because you're only really spending gas. And you just go to counterattack crazy. Every single time you see the Protoss army move out, you're in his base laying auto turrets everywhere. Because nothing base trades as fast as auto turrets do. Because it's basically the only unit in the game where you don't have to stay in a base to kill the base. You know, you just have to be there to throw down the auto turrets, and then you can move on to the next base immediately. Yeah, I can go through the. I'll talk about this builder in particular. I only go Mass Raven versus Protoss on Habitation Station, but you can try it on other maps. There's a couple of key features I like about this. One is my build does not account for Blink Stalker All In. I just died to Blink Stalker All In, so this is a terrible map for Blink Stalker All In. You can only just like blink right here. So just for metagame reasons, you don't see Blink All In on this map, so yeah, it kind of works out okay. The other thing is this is kind of a nice spot for siege tanks where it defends my ramp over here and helps defend my planetary over here. But my goal is to get to 3 bases super fast. Super fast. So I'm going gasless fast expand, which really is something no Terran does versus Protoss anymore, not since Wings of Liberty. So it's going to be supply depot, barracks, actually go bunker, and second supply depot. If you cut out both of those, you can get a fast enough command center that you're not supply capped very much. But this is good against that Zealot Stalker pressure. Zealot Stalker Mothership Core. Yeah, so depot, barracks, depot with a bunker. And then the SCV that makes your bunker can immediately build a command center. Right as soon as I start my command center, the next things I do is immediately send out a scout to make sure he expanded. Engineering bay, and then double refinery. And as soon as this engineering bay is done, I throw down double turret. And you can see it times out quite well for the Mothership Core scout. But it usually arrives right about now. He's a touch late, but the turrets are done in time. And if he's not paying attention, you can sometimes even snipe the Mothership Core. In fact, you know what? I should actually bring these Marines up. Leave one Marine in the bunker. And bring them up here, because I can, you always get like quite a few pot shots off with a missile turret, and the Marines might be enough to finish it off, which would be kind of cool. Anyways, I do want a turret ring later in the game, because Warp Prism play can be devastating to me. So I kind of need these anyways, and it gives me like something on the field if he goes Oracles. If you did not see an expansion, you want to be, I'll have like my one factory and barracks. So naked barracks and factory, just pump Marines and siege tanks. Get structure armor on your engineering bay. If this is not an orbital yet, you can cancel it and turn it into a planetary. Maybe build another bunker back here and a bunker up here. Just kind of get this, build a wrap kind of back this way. Or the defense back here. And just defend the all-in and win. But against a standard Protoss player where he has expanded, I gained the tech lab and the factory. Slowly building up the frontier with the wall off, more bunkers. But basically just sitting on these 2 gas until I have enough money for my 3rd command center, because I want to take my 3rd immediately. So this guy's going to slowly be building, depot, bunker, whatever. Building Marines and siege tanks, and there's the command center. As soon as I get that 3rd command center down, that's when I'll take my 3rd and 4th gas. And immediately my 5th and 6th gas when possible. 2 siege tanks, then I'll swap, then I'll build the starport on here. And you can also start your structure armor. It's kind of nice to have structure armor done when you land this command center in case he tries to put on pressure to block your 3rd. This is a little thing I do. I'm not sure if it's really worth it or not. It does a couple things. One is it extends the vision of these siege tanks so they can actually shoot at the max range. And 2, it kind of prevents anything from standing right here. So it makes it harder for him to snipe these siege tanks. Yeah, and then immediately those gas geysers and, just a turret. 1 PF, 1 turret. It's pretty good against any sort of Zealot harass or DT harass that comes later in the game. And this is late. I think, when do I want to get this? When I build my starport, right? Throw down my 3rd command center, then double gas, then start my starport, then I want to finish this turret ring. It's nice to have it done by 9 minutes. because that's usually when a War Prism will arrive, assuming he went normal expansion timing. In fact, he's got a War Prism on the field right now. Do you believe you've built more auto turrets than anyone in the history of Starcraft 2? I would be shocked if anyone has built more auto turrets than me, because I played a lot of Starcraft. And I've been going Mass Raven since, like, you know, really early in Wings of Liberty, at least versus Zerg. I would say no one's built more auto turrets than me. Anyways, 4 starports is what I'd like to go up to. And once you got those starports down, you can start building command centers. Because you will start, this one you'll start floating minerals. The only thing I'm really spending minerals on right now is SCVs. And then you move out with your first set of ravens right when this command center is done. You notice I actually even bring this command center back a touch, because these ravens need to clear out his scout. The point of this poke is to make sure this command center gets placed at the gold and turns into a planetary. So I clear out the gold, then I'll go check his gold, put on some pressure there. If he does nothing there, then I'll just go put some random pressure on his main base. Even focus on the observer. And even if he has the watchtower, he cannot see this. He can see your mining SCVs, so don't send your mining SCVs over until this is a planetary. And then bring your ravens back. And this is the time where you want to start throwing down your factories. I like to build 2 command centers at a time down here, and about 2 at a time my main, but also getting up to at least 4 factories, maybe even 5 or 6. Hell, maybe even like 8 or 9 would be okay. Because you need factory units in bursts, I guess. You'll want planetaries by this point, like a planetary here is important. You know, your second planetary over here is important. And your second planetary here. Double PF everywhere. Not as important since I saw these stargates. I think I forgot to turn this into PF. This is actually dangerous. Hopefully I remember to do that at some point. Yeah, there it goes. Against carrier, again, this is the first game I've actually tried it, but I think it's best to build all your build a bunch of turrets. You'll be floating minerals anyways, and it kind of slows down his attack. But build it like a half screen length behind his initial target, right? So if he comes in, he's going to be attacking like SCVs here, or this missile turret, or this planetary. So build all your missile turrets back here. What that does is it means he won't be targeting these turrets by default, but these turrets will be targeting all his interceptors by default. So it kind of comes in handy. So you can see that's where I build turrets back here, and back here, and back here. You know, just kind of somewhere where they won't be like auto attacked by carriers. So let's see how this theory works. Yeah, so you can see his interceptor count is at 85. And it's not, you know, interceptors aren't free. That 250 APM Korean I played, on a couple streams ago. He actually lost the game because of interceptors. We got all base trady, and he was never able to rebuild because of the he kept this build interceptor on auto, and I was killing so many interceptors that after the base trade he ran out of money, and I think I was losing that game. I was just able to stay alive and he wasn't. PDD does nothing against carriers. Don't make that mistake. It's actually nice that PDD does nothing against interceptors, because it'd be such a waste of PDD energy. So if he has a composition like this, mass carrier with a couple tempests, you can still throw down PDD and they'll work against those 2 tempests. I guess that also means you can focus down the PDDs with interceptors. I don't think you'll ever really see that though. So the Widow Mine's still right. Remember, if you A move with Vikings, they'll automatically shoot interceptors. At this point, I want to be killing carriers. Yep, you can have interceptors be built automatically. Just like auto repair. You do Alt plus the hotkey for build interceptor, or you just right click. So Alt I or right clicking this will make it auto build.